Hello everyone, and welcome back. It's been 10 days now since this was put in here. That's just the way the time worked. I was going to go like 8 days, but 10 days is fine because this was so full. So anyway, let's take a look, and if we can, we'll get them into step 2. So looking at these, they are not ready to go into step 2 yet. They're grinding down, but not like I want them to. I actually think I'm going to take out one of the bigger rocks. So I took out those 2 rocks just to give it a little less volume in there, I should say, a little more room to move around. And these were just cool rocks. There was nothing spectacular about them. So we'll start this back up and let it run for, let's see, today is Wednesday. I'll be up here this weekend. I'll probably pull it out, maybe check it Saturday, pull it Sunday, we'll see. And I mean, you could have put these into the next step because they'll grind down a little bit, but that first step, you want the edges to be pretty rounded, and some of them had a little bit of a, it wasn't rounded enough. The one really big one that had a band in it, that rock must be softer. That one had gone down quite a bit, so we'll watch that one to see how much smaller it gets in the, before we, like in 4 days, because if it gets a lot smaller, that's too soft and I'll pull it out. But for right now, we'll just let it run. I just wasn't happy with it yet. By taking those 2 rocks out, the tumbler has a totally different sound to it now. It was definitely too full. They would have ground down eventually, but it would have taken a long time. Well, it's about 3.5 days later. Let's take this out and see if they've ground down enough to go into step 2. Well, the edges on most of these are rounding for sure, so I think I'm going to go outside and run these in a colander and dump some water on them to get them cleaned up a little bit. We'll take a better look. Well, I have them all washed up here, and now I'm going to go through, and like this one is a really pretty rock, but it has all these pits in it that are never going to come out, and that's just going to cause me trouble later. So this one I'm going to pull. I'm just going to go through, and there was one like this one here was kind of neat, but it still has a rough outside. I think I'm going to eliminate this one. This one has some pretty deep pits. It does have some nice agate lines in it though. Pits are okay, you're just going to have to get in there on the following steps with a toothbrush, but this one here has like caves in there. Best to just pull something like that, because the little pieces of grit are going to get in there and work themselves loose, and then they're going to scratch all your other rock when it's getting time to, when it's getting closer to time for polish. Look at that one there. That's going to be really pretty. Well, I just went and washed this really good, paying special attention to in here where that grit can get caught. So everything is nice and clean here. We're just going to add our rocks back into our tumbler. Now I'm going to put the grit in for step 2, which is a 150-220 Mesh Silicon Carbide. And once again, even though our volume has dropped, I am still going to put in 12 tablespoons of the grit. Now we're going to add the water. And we want it to, I'm not going to put any of the filler in yet. I almost could with this one because it's dropped down so far, but I'm going to leave this one. I want the water to be just like that, just a couple rocks sticking past. Now I'm just going to cover this back up. And the reason I'm not adding any of the ceramic media yet is the filler. I still want these to grind down some more, and when I add that filler it kind of softens everything, and I just am not ready for this one to be softened yet. The next time we'll definitely have to add the filler. If you're doing this for the first time and your bucket or tumbler looked like that, you could have added a handful maybe of the ceramic media filler or the plastic. I like the ceramic better than the plastic, but I know that I want these rocks to grind down a little farther. Everything is getting rounded, but it could have been more rounded. You kind of get a feel for it once you've done this a few times. And it's not going to hurt them not having the media in there. It's just they're going to go down a little bit faster. Well, you want to let this tumble for 5 to 7 days. I will let this tumble for probably 7 days. Today is Sunday. I'm sure that I will switch this out next Sunday. Well, thanks a lot for watching, everybody. We're into step 2. Still have 2 steps to go. I will see you guys on the next video.